Hi guys, welcome back to another video. So I know I did cover Avalanche like around 12 days ago or 13 days ago, but now the reason I'm looking at this token is because it seems like that my analysis seems to be working as of now. As you can see here in that video, I did say that we had this resistance. If it can flip that, it is heading for 31 to 33 dollars. Now the reason I'm looking at Avalanche again because we are in a really crucial week of like 2025, I would say, because we have US federal fund rate meeting. Like it's in the 2 days. Let's see what happens. But if we do get rate cuts, I think Avalanche could be one of those tokens that will most likely get a lot of benefit because as of now, in terms of how its fundamentals are looking, it is really important. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So this is the TVL. As you can see here, the TVL has been hitting new highs on Avalanche. Of course, it's nowhere near its 2021 Bullions TVL, but again, it's going up. As you can see, slowly it's growing. Now, in terms of if you look at its DEX volume, it's hitting new all-time highs. As you can see here, so the DEX volume on the Avalanche is really high. If we just look at the transaction counts, you will also see the transaction counts have gone up as well. As you can see here, really good, I would say. If we look at active addresses, those are also up. So overall, it is like looking really well for the Avalanche. And these are the transactions. And in terms of the active addresses, these are the active addresses. As you can see, those are also up. And beside that, if we look at the chain revenue, and that is another matrix that is also, I would say, is really important one. But again, as of now, it seems like that their chain has become a lot better in terms of fees, as you can see here. And in terms of stablecoin market cap, that is another crucial, I would say, like that is another crucial thing to look at as well. Now if you look at the stablecoin market cap growth, it is just hitting a new all-time high. I mean the recent high, as you can see here. Overall, I would say it's looking really good, at least when it comes to some of the basic like stats that are really important if the coin does want to go up. Now beside that, we do have another news that I was looking at. So Avalanche Foundation targets 1 billion raised through dual AVAX investment vehicle. So this will be really big one if this happens. So basically, according to the FT, Avalanche Foundation is in the talks with the investors to set up two US digital asset treasuries companies aiming to raise $1 billion to buy millions of AVAX at a discount. So if this happens, I think this will inject a massive capital into the Avalanche, and I think this will be a really big treasury as well. Again, let's see what happens, but if that does happen, I think we could be looking at a massive surge as high as like $44 or even like 53 or even like $64 is a possibility. After that, I will just show you the example of how the fundamentals of the Avalanche or the how the Avalanche DEX volume is up. So we are looking at definitive on the edge tokens like DEX, as you can see. And if you just look at the trading volume, this is the section that we would be looking at. So if you just look at here, the biggest one in the past has been like Avalanche. So the Avalanche volume has been like beating everything on like the definitive edge. Even if you look at on September 10th, the Avalanche volume did peak, as you can see overall. I would say Avalanche volume has been growing really well. Like if you look here, Avalanche volume was around 15 million. Out of they only had like 38 million, so big chunk of the volume did went to the Avalanche. So overall, I think everything is indicating that Avalanche, in terms of their fundamentals, they are looking really well. Now we also have ETF news as well. So there is like Grayscale seeks SEC approval for a spot Avalanche ETF under AVAX ticker. If this happens, this will be really big one. We also have Vendac, I think it is VanEck files for AVAX ETF back in March, as you can see here. So overall, if we do see ETF for the Avalanche, it could be also a big one. So I think either way, if market doesn't go down on this meeting, so if the market becomes bullish on September 17th, as you can see here, I think the possibility of Avalanche going as high as, I would say, $41 to $44 is really high. And if the surge continues, I think the first target would be this one. I would be looking at this target, and if the surge does continue, I think we may actually go as high as like 49 to, I would say, $56 as well. So these are the another points that I'm looking at. So as of now, I think if it can claim this zone like around $33 to $31, let's see, let me draw it again. So if it can claim this zone, I think we could see a massive surge as high as $45 to $42. So I'm looking at this setup. Again, if the market does go down, I think the Avalanche could just basically retest on this zone like 27 to 26, and once the market does become stable, we could again go up here as well. So it can also do this, that this is a possibility as well. So I'm looking at different setups. But again, if the market does see a massive like dip, let's say that the news doesn't push that token, let's say that the meeting doesn't go that well, and we don't get like rate cuts, and if the market does go down on that news, I think the lowest we may actually see Avalanche go could be as low as like 25 or even 22 or even 23, the possibility. Again, that all depends on how the market reacts to the news. Overall, I think in terms of their DEX volume, in terms of their chain fees, in terms of their potential ETF news, in terms of potential treasury, overall everything seems to be lining up for Avalanche's massive like surge, like it did back in 2021. So again, if everything lines up really well for the Avalanche, we could be looking at I think it can like reclaim $50, and if that happens, I think the $64 would be the next target. And if it continues to go up, and if it does like flips this $65, we could be looking at over $100 price for the AVAX. It is possible. Again, I think it all depends on how the market plays out from now on. Overall, I think it's looking really good for the Avalanche, and if you are planning to get this token, I think as of now the best entry would be somewhere around $26 or even like around $23 or even $24. If things go wrong in terms of the Fed cut rates, and in terms of if we do see any other big event that impacts the crypto market, I think Avalanche could see a surge as low as like $20, or even we could see a retest on this trend line as well, so somewhere around $19. But I think as long as it continues to remain above this trend line, which is this blue one, I think everything is looking good for the Avalanche. Anyways, thanks for watching. I will be back with more. Thank you.